Given just how much time has passed since pipewire video and desktop portals have been available, there is basically no excuse for why proprietary screencasting applications don't work properly on Wayland. Why even have a Linux version if you are not going to develop it? Now, Discord is the one that primarily matters here, but there are people that use things like Slack, Skype, and plenty of others as well, and they all share the exact same problem. All of these programs do not work properly on Wayland. It's not that they can't capture anything. They are perfectly happy to capture XWeyland applications. Unlike Wayland, XWeyland is just an X server, and when an application is running in an X server, there are no restrictions on what can capture it. There's just a capture API sitting out there for anyone to grab. On the Wayland side, though, these applications don't have any idea any Wayland clients even exist. And when it comes to doing desktop capture, all you see is a black screen. For some reason, you can still see the cursor, but I'm sure there's a perfectly reasonable explanation for that. I don't know what it is, it doesn't really matter. This is not this new phenomenon that nobody's ever seen before. Back before OBS properly supported pipewire video and desktop portals, it acted the exact same way. But the nice thing about OBS is open source, so someone came along and fixed it, and now it's no longer a problem. That is something we don't get with proprietary applications. So until that day comes when these applications actually support Wayland, which may never happen, I don't know, David Edmondson and Alex Pohl of KDE have a solution. XWeyland Video Bridge. Fixing Wayland. XWeyland Screencasting. This blog introduces a new tool to make it easy to stream Wayland windows and screens to existing applications running under XWeyland that don't have native pipewire support in an easy-to-use manner that retains full user control throughout. So if you've ever tried to stream anything from Discord, you'll notice a severe lack of windows. You'll see the Discord window, you'll probably see your web browser, which is probably still running through XWeyland, maybe a couple of other little things, but if you're using KDE, most of your desktop is running native Wayland. In my case, my terminal and a bunch of other things running native Wayland. I cannot screencast them using Discord. Linux enthusiasts, and by reading developer blogs, you're definitely in this camp, and by watching this video, you are definitely in this camp as well, will understand why this is, and probably know some technique to avoid this involving changing my setup or workflow in some way to work around things on a per app basis. The most common thing I hear people saying is you can run the web browser version of Discord and use a browser that properly supports pipewire video and desktop portals. And yes, you absolutely can, but I don't want to run the browser version. I want to run the desktop version. Another option is turn the desktop or the application you're trying to capture into a virtual webcam. The easiest way to do this is with something like OBS. What you do is install a kernel module called v4l2 loopback. This allows you to actually make a virtual camera, and then in OBS, capture the thing you want to be streaming. Let's say it's your desktop, for example. And in OBS, there's a button that says Start Virtual Camera. If you click on that, it will then let you link that capture up to the virtual camera you made. And then inside of your applications, all they see is this is a webcam. They don't care that it's being made by a kernel module. They just see it as a webcam and allows you to go and pass it into Discord, Skype, Slack, anything else, and you're basically good to go. It doesn't show up as a screen capture, so it will have to replace your face, but it's better than nothing working altogether. This is exactly how Rogue Run and I were handling our Pokemon Nuzlocke stream together, but it's not exactly a convenient solution. Every time you want to use it, you need to reset it back up. And for a lot of users, it can seem a little bit complex, especially if anything goes wrong. you're going to have to know what you're doing to go and work that out. So for our wider user base, this isn't enough. Wayland is a technical detail, and we want any switch to be as transparent as possible for as many apps as possible for all cases, including cases we haven't thought of. Now, at least on the surface, the way the bridge works is relatively simple. So you're going to have this bridge basically just running in the background, either running exactly when you need it or leaving it always running, depending on what you want to do. And when you go to screencast in something like Discord, rather than there just being Discord and the rest of the XWeyland windows, there's going to be this other option there, Wayland to X11 bridge. And if you select this, it is going to show you the typical portal interface that you would see on your desktop. On KDE it looks like this, but on Hyperland you have this, Sway you have something else, and basically it uses whatever the portal interface is on your desktop. And this works the same way it would work in something like OBS or anything else trying to use pipewire video. You select the thing you want to cast, and then the video is just sent on through. And it basically just works. Discord sees the video feed, it lets you screencast it, and that's that. And if you want to go and select something else, you select another feed, select back onto it, it'll show you the portal interface again, you select another window, and it works the exact same way. Now, I want to be very clear about one thing. It is not going to cast audio. The audio casting problem is a whole separate issue not related to Wayland. This just makes it work as well as it does on Xorg. And speaking of Xorg, I absolutely love the way the bridge works. Basically, it is a hack that uses basically the same thing in this case, some weird features that exist in X11, and you probably guessed already, but this makes use of XWeyland. So they already had a testing tool, a debugging tool, for showing pipewire video streams inside of an application, just to, make sure they are working. But this application ran native Wayland, so it wouldn't be able to be captured by something like Discord. But what if we just force it to run XWeyland and see what happens? Well, if it's running through XWeyland, it shows up as a regular video. So most of the work is already done. You already have a generic thing that can show pipewire video streams and be captured by Discord. But the problem is, if you just used it as is, you would basically have a duplication of the window. You would have the window itself, and then also a copy of the window running in XWeyland. This really isn't great. So what they did is made that window invisible and unfocusable, but it still just exists in the background. And even though it's invisible to you, it's not invisible to Discord. Discord thinks it's just a regular XWeyland window and will capture it the exact same as before. But there's still a problem. How do you know the window is being captured to show the portal prompt? It's not like Discord has some sort of plugin system, some hook system to know when a screen or a window is being captured. Discord doesn't, but X11 does. So what they did is add a detection for when we're being streamed by using the Xrecord extension to monitor all clients, redirecting the window we own. Basically, if something streams it, then it's going to be like, hey, something's streaming us, let's do something. And that something in this case is sharing a pipewire video feed using a desktop portal. And in the words of the developer, it's an excellent example of X11 allowing you to do really, really stupid things for novel and creative purposes. And you know what? I couldn't agree more. Now, while this is absolutely amazing for the regular user, it does have some Wayland security implications. So when you use a regular portal with a regular pipewire video feed directly to an application, the only application that can see that video feed is the application selected. I guess also the portal, but the application selected is the important one. But when we are doing it through this method, we are not sending the feed directly to the application. It is being sent to an intermediary, and the intermediary is spying on the application. So basically, any other application that can spy on XWeyland windows can also spy on this video feed. However, it doesn't really matter, as this is the default state on Xorg anyway. Now, while this is being developed with KDE in mind, the idea isn't to make this KDE exclusive. It is to make the Wayland desktop generally just better. So theoretically, it should work on any Wayland compositor that supports XDG Desktop Portal's screencasting and has a standard system tray. In reality, the software is still very much an alpha, and KDE is the only place it's actually stable. Testing on GNOME has led to some mixed results, and over on XWey, it is completely busted. I feel like this is partially due to the fact that window capture doesn't work properly on XWey, but I'm not entirely sure. But regardless, the plan isn't to keep this around forever. The idea is this is a stopgap until these applications actually work properly. But for the foreseeable future, until that's actually the case, it's not entirely clear what is going to be happening with this project. As I said, it's still very much an alpha, so they're not sure if it's going to move to FlatHub, to distro package repos, if it's going to be integrated into Plasma. I hope whatever is done, it is made stable on other desktops besides KDE. Because sure, while I can go and use some of the alternative techniques to make desktop and window capture actually work, I want it to just work seamlessly. That would be lovely. But let me know what you guys think. Do you ever screencast on Discord? Do you even care this feature is missing? Did you even know that it doesn't work properly on Wayland anyway? I would love to know. So if you like this video, remember to go and like the video, and if you really like the video and you want to become one of these amazing people over here, check out the Patreon, Scribes, Daily Bearer Pay linked down below. That's going to be it for me, and classic KDEW.